The thing that many of these migrants don't have is time, and rebuilding the asylum process that was dismantled under the Trump administration, under Stephen Miller, that takes time. And so when the Biden administration comes in and they make clear to people that children and teens who come by themselves can stay, are they incentivizing parents to send their kids on this dangerous journey alone? And I fully understand that the crisis at the border isn't really at the border. It's in these countries. It's the issues and the violence and the poverty that people are fleeing. But the messaging here from the Biden administration, I mean, what's your advice to the Biden administration about how they can message to the Northern Triangle countries about what they will find when people end up here?
I mean, the president has been very clear on several occasions now to families, like, to don't come to the southern border, stay in your home community. But here's the thing, Trump could say that day and night, and we saw similar numbers under Trump. In fact, we saw a 9-month increase month over month in the 9 months before Trump left. There was a 690% increase in those last 9 months of the Trump administration in the number of unaccompanied minors. There was about a 61% increase so far under Biden. So, you know, there is a difference there. But the important thing is that whereas Trump was talking tough and treating people cruelly, Biden is treating people compassionately, but actually investing in the things we need to do so that people can stay in their home countries, namely saying, don't come here. You can get processed for an asylum claim over there in your home country. And in the longer term, we're going to make investments. We're going to work with those Northern Triangle countries so that people can find safety and opportunity at home instead of having to come over here. That is humane. It is going to be effective, and it's smart.
When you ran for president, you had a people first immigration policy. I wonder, you know, based on your own experience, based on the work you did in putting that policy together, are there any gaps right now in the administration's approach? And given the fact that we likely won't see comprehensive immigration reform, there likely won't be the money and resources to address the reasons why people are leaving places like Guatemala and Honduras. You know, how can the Biden administration best put a Band-Aid on this issue so that the 15,000 minors in their custody, that custody doesn't become, you know, 30,000 in a couple of months?
Yeah, well, look, two things. They need to move heaven and earth, and I know they're working hard to make sure that those investments are made, in the flow of people. You're putting an end to misery and that dangerous journey. And so those processing centers that they want to open in these Northern Triangle countries are important. The longer term investment, in my campaign, I called for a Marshall Plan for Central America so that people can find safety and opportunity at home instead of having to come over here. But then, you know, you have 15,000 children here, and I've been very, very pleased to hear the compassion and the humanity coming from the Biden administration. How do you operationalize that? Well, you get them out of these CBP stations and actually into better housing facilities. And then you want to speed up the vetting process so they can actually be with their host families in a normal environment. Oftentimes, these are relatives that they know. So the Biden administration can keep working very hard to speed up that process. But Joe Biden actually has a heart for these children and is competent. That's the difference with Donald Trump. He wanted to be cruel, and he was incompetent.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.